Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Today I want to discuss 3 resume tips that are going to help you as you're formatting and writing your resumes. Now, I have seen these mistakes at least 3 or 4 times in the past couple of weeks, whether I was working with a client who's a 20 or 30 year executive professional or a brand new graduate from college. Clients make this mistake all the time, so hopefully something I'm about to tell you is going to resonate with you. First of all, treat real estate on your resume just like you would if you owned a mall, okay? If you own a mall, obviously you care about stores, and because that's where you get your revenue. Every store, if you could ideally have a perfect mall, there'd be no corridors, no bathrooms, no extra space to walk around, no high ceilings, right? It would just be a bunch of stores because they're the ones that are paying the rent. However, you need to have big corridors, you need to have high ceilings because it makes it attractive to come in. So like that, you need to have spacing between your sections, you need to have areas that are inviting for the reader to come in. However, when they land in a store, when they land in a section on your resume, it needs to be concise, it needs to be to the point. So let's talk about the first thing. Character counts. Now, I know we all think the same thing. Well, moral character counts. How is that relevant for a resume? I am not talking about moral character in this particular video. I am talking about characters on your resume. Each letter is a character. Each space is a character. You want to treat characters like retail stores in the mall. You want to make sure that, first of all, you don't end sentences in periods or bullets in periods, because a bullet is not a sentence. A bullet is an idea. It starts with a verb, most likely a past tense verb, depending on the situation, but most likely, and then it has the accomplishment. Get rid of the connecting words. For example, you might say something like, created a new program for the employees, which then saved the company 5% in costs, which then is 9-10 characters that you can just say which created or which saved the company. You need to make sure that you figure out how to connect two ideas with the least amount of words in the middle. That's something that I do all the time for a lot of different clients. They want to make it sound like a sentence, but it's not a sentence, it's an idea. And we as recruiters, we're scanning these ideas. And if it's wrong, we'll talk to you about it and we'll ask you. But truthfully, try to squeeze everything in on 1 or 2 lines. Next, use the same fonts all the way through for your resume. Okay? It seems like a no-brainer. The same formatting, the same fonts. However, I have seen this a dozen times in the past 6 months, several times in the past couple weeks, where maybe back in 2010 was the last time you worked on your resume, and then 2020 you worked on your resume again. So the experience from 2010 to present was in a slightly different color than the previous 2010 experience. Or I've seen it where maybe you've made the company bold in 2010 and all of your positions italicized, but back in 2005 or 2000, for whatever reason, you made the company italicized and your position bold. Make sure it's the same formatting all the way through. Also, make sure that the formatting makes sense. And what I mean by that is that if you look at your resume after you're done with it and you have a bullet that's split between 2 lines, figure out a way to get that bullet on just one, or a bullet split on between 2 pages. Figure out a way to get that bullet just on 1 page. Or figure out a way to close that section on page 1 so page 2 is a fresh new section. I also see often with the same idea that maybe the resume is 2 pages and 1 line long, which means I'm printing out 3 pieces of paper for 1 line, when really you could have done a little better on just doing a little attention to quality and making sure your resume fit firmly on 2 pages versus being 1 extra line on that, extra page. So do those sort of little things. I don't subscribe to your resume having to be a certain amount of pages, but I do subscribe to being smart about how you lay it out. And then lastly, don't forget that when you start with these grammatical verbs, right? Managed, led, directed. That's all saying the same thing, but what I'm not saying is managed, 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 led, led, led. I'm using 3 different verbs to describe the same type of action, which is important. You shouldn't repeat the verbs all the way through your resume, because if you do that, you're gonna bore me. Use the thesaurus function on your resume, on the Word document. Right click on the word, click thesaurus, come up with a different word to describe the same action if you see that you're repeating similar verbs to start off that word. And also, if you realize that your bullet is bleeding over to a second line or a third line by 1 or 2 characters, figure out which words you can use the thesaurus on and remove 2 or 3 characters to suck it up to the second line or to the first line. With that, again, I hope everyone is doing well. 3 tips for today. Treat the real estate on your resume like a mall would retail space. Don't worry about the connecting words too much. This isn't a sentence. And then use the thesaurus feature when you need to on the Word document so you can protect the real estate you're trying to present to a potential company. Thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. As always, remember, please, if you like this, share this. If you like this, please like it. Send a little like. If you want to watch more of these videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hired How to Get the Job. If this is too long for you, go over to my Instagram feed. I do quick clips, 1-minute clips a day typically on different weekly topics. And then lastly, if you know anyone who's looking for a job, please reach out to me so I can help show you or them how to get the job. Hope to see you on Wednesday or Thursday at one of our live sessions on LinkedIn or Facebook. Take care. Thanks.